Welcome to the Dropcast. We're back, we're renewed, we're revitalized. Your name is Matthew Kershaw.
I wouldn't say we're revitalized after, a month break of intense university work, exams.
And we were just sitting here whinging about the sweat and the fact that we're baking in our rooms.
Yeah, it's 20 degrees Celsius. That's normal temperature in places like America, but we're oh no, I'm dying over here.
That's a normal temperature anywhere south of Paris or something. That's not extreme.
Yeah, and they're oh no, it's a beautiful day outside, let's go for a bike ride and exercise out in the sun. And we're just no, I've got to stay in my room with 5 fans pointed at my face so I don't die.
What's it like where you're at? Because where I'm at, it's grey as shit and misty, just actually thick mist just clinging to the floor.
The sun is a beautiful bright blue, no clouds in the sky. There's hundreds, probably hundreds of bikes and hairy German bikers clad in black leather, roasting themselves alive.
Hot.
Oh,
we should mention that's on the island, not just in your house right now.
Oh, you mean on the island? Okay, on the island. That's alright, I guess.
But yeah, we've been busy and now we're back. And this is episode 34.
Is it now? It's been so long.
That's what I've got written down, but it could honestly be just about any number.
We should stop numbering them and just have alternate titles.
No, because then you have to work at making
Revitalized.
Revengeance, yeah. Back and covered in robot armor. Have you right? Let's talk. We said we weren't going to do any news because it is E3 coming up, but let's talk about that fucking Kojima artwork and the tagline "I'll keep coming." What is that about?
Hey man, he's excited. Just
but
that happens in some guys.
How does anyone who speaks enough English to know the word "coming" say that in a sentence and not somebody must have said that out loud? Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, Kojima's probably just baked out of his mind like usual to try and come up with these crazy ideas, and he's just yeah, this sounds great.
Do you reckon that's going to be part of the game, that extravehicular creative suit? Or do you reckon that's just some weird, high-level shit?
Well, I mean, the previous Kojima Productions logo was the Foxhound logo from Metal Gear, so I assume that this is going to be for his new game.
Right, but has he still got that? Oh, no, they've totally got... That's what the new logo is, right?
Yeah, I assumed that his logo will be about the game, like it usually is.
Yeah, that could be cool. I'm kind of disappointed that it's a dude in a suit, not a mech. I'll be honest.
He looks pretty mecha. I mean, this is Kojima. I'm pretty sure he has a robot dick or something.
Did you notice he had a fucking webcam on the side of his head?
No.
Some sort of Bluetooth camera. It's only on the most recent concept art. He's totally got a fucking eye toy stuck to the side of his head.
Oh god.
Can you imagine if he's actually making Samba de Amigo again for Sega?
That would be amazing. I would buy a PS4.
I hope he's doing something in VR. I want Kojima to rape my face. He needs to get onto that tech. He did do that studio tour of every one of Sony studios. So,
did he?
Yeah, it was several weeks long. Him and Mark Cerny, the PS4 architect, they went around all the different Sony studios on the globe, basically.
Oh, was that when he was just posting on Twitter pictures of burgers and martinis every day?
Yeah, it was here's a burger, here's a martini, here's a motion capture set.
Yeah.
Here's some dude I met in Hollywood. Here's a picture of me shaking J.J. Abrams' hand. It was really cool stuff.
It's just the most insane stuff. I love Kojima.
Speaking of insane stuff, what have you been playing these last few weeks?
Ooh, it's been a while, actually. I mean, I can't remember what I've been playing. My mind has been rotted away by university revision.
Have you been playing the denormalization game?
I wish.
The object orientation games. Is that what you've been playing?
No, I've been playing most recently playing some Fallout 4 because the mods came to consoles, and I thought I'll pick that up again, and it's been pretty fun, I guess. I don't know, it's Fallout 4, I still have problems with it.
Have you played much or any like finished Far Harbor? What have you played of Far Harbor?
I was about to ask, have we even covered Far Harbor? Have we even discussed it?
No, we will have a video of Far Harbor in the future, probably after E3.
I really like Far Harbor. It's so atmospheric and cool. It's like...
Does it run like shit on the Xbox One? Because it runs like shit on my PC.
No, it runs perfectly fine on the Xbone. I've not had any problems with it.
And they've had to... it was bricked, well, I don't know how bad it was, but it was bad enough that they've had to like literally lower the graphics in the PS4.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Why do Bethesda have such problems making like DLC for Sony? Because
no idea.
The same thing happened with Skyrim, didn't they? I think it was it Dragonborn or was it Dawnguard that just came months later because it just broke?
Yeah, there was one of them, you're right, and then also some of the Fallout 3 stuff I think was the same.
Yeah, what's wrong with Bethesda developing for Sony?
I don't know. It's weird. Like, it almost makes sense with the PS3, doesn't it? Because like the sale was super weird. So of course every game was broken. That wasn't first party. But it is weird, right? With the PS4 when they're both basically the same thing on the inside.
Yeah, they both have pretty much the same architecture. It's super strange.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't run like terribly, but you'll see in the video we'll do. It's I've just got problems with the smoke. Like it just goes dead. I don't know what the actual phrase is, like macro blocking. Like he has massive squares in the smoke particles. That's kind of terrible.
That's weird. I mean, it runs fine on the Xbone. I say what you will about the consoles, but it runs perfectly fine. I've not seen it or not felt it drop below 30 unless like there's a massive battle going on with lasers and robots and all that crap.
Oh god. Yes, like even on the PC, like I don't know which ending you got for the main game, but like at one point I was in a helicopter on top of like a building and there was like 20 synths shooting at me and the frame rate was like 5 frames a second. It was appalling.
I've still not finished Fallout 4.
Oh god. Far Harbor.
I started a new character because I didn't want to finish the main game.
You're terrible. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just finish it?
I don't know. I made a new character for the survival update when it came to consoles, but I made it like 2 weeks before it even came out, so I was already like level 20 by the time the survival update came out.
Did you accidentally make your character a lesbian when you meant to date the alien with the bird head?
No, I didn't.
Did you do that again?
Fuck up Mass Effect again. That's how I'm Mass Effect.
Have you finished the DLC for that?
No, I still haven't finished. Nope.
Oh my god, what are you doing?
Man, I wanted that hot bird dick, but instead I slept with some woman in a shower, and now I don't want to play anymore.
You're going to have to finish that, because Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be at E3.
Oh, I can't wait.
Citadel is really good. That DLC is great.
Yeah. I mean, from what I played of it, I think I almost finished it. No, I did finish it, because I had the clone at the end, and I decided to kill her.
Oh god, you spoiled the best part of Mass Effect.
How old is Mass Effect? Come on, it's like 5 years old now?
It's timeless. It's like... No, it's just timeless. It's really good. Far Harbor, I keep derailing you, I'm sorry. Carry on.
No, I think I finished it all. I'm not very far in Far Harbor. I'm just walking around the Commonwealth again. I've never been down south of the Commonwealth, so I'm just discovering all these cool areas, like this massive swamp that I never knew existed.
Yeah, there is some cool stuff out there. How did you get far enough in Fallout that you had to go off the map?
Yes.
In Fallout 4. How cool was that? I don't know about you, but I felt like I was breaking the game walking past the map boundary.
Yeah, it was really weird. I had it spoilt for me because I already saw that you could go out that way. But like, I could imagine if you didn't know, and it's like, okay, go here to find. Is his name Virgil? I think.
Yeah, but it wasn't just that though. It was I didn't know, and I'm walking through a fucking literal wasteland with like these radioactive storms overhead. It was.
Yeah, and there's just death claws and those rad scorpions everywhere. It's just terrifying.
Yeah. Fallout 4's got some things going for it. I couldn't get into Far Harbor. I think it's because I was watching a lot of movies when that came out. I still kind of am. And I was just on a kick of like critiquing the storytelling and like, you know, Fallout 4, the dialogue is still trash.
Yeah.
You know, just like the setup. Like, I'm going to go to this woman's house. She's going to tell me, like, for literally 10 minutes about his daughter being this tech genius. Like, I just couldn't get into it. I tried recording a couple of Let's Plays for the site, but I basically ended up wasting 3 hours of my time because I was so bored.
I that's the problem I have with Fallout. I mean, but it's the same with any like Fallout game, even New Vegas, which is like infinitely better. I wouldn't say infinitely better. It's much better than Fallout New Vegas. No, Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, but even still, the writing in that wasn't too great at times.
No.
The problem is with RPGs, it's like okay, go meet this person, and you meet this person, and they give you like their life story up until the point where they met you, and it's like, okay, it's not like, you know, nicely presented and you work it out as you go along. You have to like meet this character.
There's no editing, is there? There's no like yeah.
It's like in Fallout 4 when you meet Dima. Did you bring Nick Valentine with you to Far Harbor?
No, I totally forgot. I just had this fucking speechless automaton with me with saw blades and a flamethrower.
Oh, alright, so I'll talk about that. I brought Nick because I figured, okay, there's a weird synth dude, and I assume it looks like Nick. All the people were speculating it's like another Nick or whatever reason. And so I brought Nick along with me, and the first conversation with Dima, he's just like, Nick, we're brothers. I helped you escape the Institute. I'm like, this just comes out of nowhere. It's like not smooth, it's not like coherent.
No, they don't imply it and then you work it out for yourself and then they tell you. And it feels like a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, not great, but yeah, I really like Far Harbor. I should probably finish it. I want to finish it before I do the main story, and probably before they announce more DLC, which I'll probably do at E3.
I admit that landing scene, you know, when you're coming into Far Harbor and there's like all the mist and then the lights, that was really cool, right up until giant fucking lizards ran out of the mist.
Those are terrifying on survival. I've died so many times to them.
Yeah, I imagine. Lizards are not scary prospect, at least to me.
Well, yeah,
I mean, dead corny.
I haven't found, I think it's called a fog crawler, which is like a giant praying mantis thing.
That sounds gross.
Yeah,
yes, I killed one of them in a swamp.
Really? I don't think... I'm scared. I was walking through the swamp and one of those angler monsters came out and I literally jumped in my seat.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk more about that when we do a video. But I'm glad you're enjoying it. You should go back and finish that because I don't know that I will.
Yeah.
At least for a while.
I do want to finish it. We've just been busy, really.
Yeah. But speaking of RPGs with great storytelling, The Witcher 3's got its last DLC, Blood and Wine.
Is it the last one? I thought there was like one more.
That is the last one. There was two. There was Heart of Stone last year, and then Blood and Wine. It just came out. That is excellent. Yeah, well, you know, I didn't really like Witcher 3. I thought it had lots of problems technically, and also like most of that game was boring as shit.
You played it on PS4, right?
Yeah. So they've patched so much of that game. They've basically redone all the inventory system, which is wonderful because that was trash, and now it's pretty good. Like, they actually categorize items. You can now use the alternative control scheme. That's been in ages, but it's the first time I've gone back to it. So now you don't move like shit. I've turned all the blur effects off, so I don't want to vomit every 10 minutes. And it just seems to run a lot better than I remember it, which is awesome. But like Blood and Wine, it takes place in this basically fantasy French medieval place, so a lot of knights. And there's also like heavy vampire influence and stuff, so it's like right up my alley. And I literally just finished it yesterday. We're going to have a review of it on the website. It's so good. It's like very literally the opposite of what we just critiqued Fallout 4 with. Where...
Yeah, I mean, I've wanted to get... I remember you talked about the problems you had on the PS4 with it, and I was like, well, if it runs like that on the PS4, it's going to run worse on the Xbone, you know.
No, at least as bad. Like, it might have been... Yeah. I think it was for the Xbox originally, wasn't it? And then came to PS4, but...
Yeah, but... Like, I've been wanting it, but now hearing that it runs well, I might see if I can get a cheap copy and then pick up the season pass for the DLC. Because, like, I don't know, I've been in the mood to play sort of these old, like, not medieval, but you know what I mean, like swords and, you know, magic and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if I told you, I have Dragon Age Inquisition. I just haven't played it, and I've owned it for, like, months now.
Well, you should. That's a game you really need. I think you really need to play the other ones for.
Yeah, that's a big reason why I haven't even installed it.
It's literally like the Mass Effect. It's not quite the same because you're not playing as the same character, but you know, the protagonist from Dragon Age 2 turns up in Dragon Age 3 for like a large amount of that story. So it's like you're worth having that context. Otherwise, it's just you wonder why you're making a second character for no apparent reason. Character creator.
Yeah, I mean, I think I own 2. I think I own 2 on the Xbox 360. It might have been free at some point. I don't remember. Or maybe that's Witcher 2.
That was on the 360, yeah.
Yeah,
that game's really good. Oh, that's the other thing Blood and Wine does. In The Witcher 2, you reach a point where the entire game splits. You either follow one dude to one set of maps and quests and stuff, or you go the other way. And it's like entirely different till the very end, basically. That happens in Blood of Wine as well. Like, you basically make a decision. It's not quite as broad as that, but the story, from a storytelling perspective, it's like super divergent. So I really want to go back and play the other side, because it seems like it would be entirely different.
That's good. I love games that do that, to be fair.
But like, there's an environment that it might not be a massive thing that I'm thinking of, but because I haven't read up on it, but it seems like it's going to be completely different stuff, because you go in a very specific way and you meet different characters, I think, or you have more to do with different characters. So I think it would literally be... There's no reason you'd go to the same place on the second path, is what I'm trying to say. So I need to look up that a bit more, but it's fun.
Have you been playing anything else? Because I haven't really, other than Fallout.
I played a lot of Stellaris. That's a couple of weeks ago now. There's a review on the website for that. We're going to do a video of that, but again, like we've said plenty of times, we've been super caught up recently, so that might be about a week out or so. Total War Warhammer review's going to go up. Maybe already up by the time this podcast goes up, we'll see. But that's really good. Strategy game. It's a lot of people saying, or a lot, like the sentiment seems to be, oh, well, this is the closest you're ever going to get to a Warhammer video game. It's kind of not that. In terms of, the tabletop. It's really a total war game that happens to have Warhammer in it. And it's good, because they've got like things like flying units that are not in the other Total Wars. And it's all really well integrated, as I talk about in the review. But right, you can't paint your armies, which is obviously like most of what Warhammer is. And almost every Warhammer game gets that part right. And so in this game, it's like, there's a lot of easy things like that, like the Chaos Guards, where they just don't include it. They omit things like that in... it's a huge game, right? There's a lot of effort gone into it. I think it's really good in every other respect, but like that level of like your own storytelling, how like in XCOM you create your own characters and stuff, and you grow your story that way. Like that's very similar to what the tabletop is. When you paint your own miniatures, you give them names and shit. So for this game to not have that is like, it's just fucking criminal. It's like you miss what the point of Warhammer is. But it plays so fucking well. It's like the best balanced Total War game I think I might have, at least at launch, it's ever been. And like, it fucking plays like really smoothly. I'm having trouble capturing it, but like, I'm getting the ultra performance at basically 30 to 40 frames a second constantly, and that's more than I get off a Tiller, which was like 2 years old now. So it's really good. It's just the Warhammer side for me. It's got issues. But again, if you're interested in that, read the review. And Fire Emblem Fates, which I also reviewed. That was a Fire Emblem game that's in 3 parts. I don't know if you remember this from E3, but basically 2 retail games and a DLC. I reviewed Conquest. It's like, really bad story. Could not get into it. It's like you meet a bad guy, he's a bad guy 10 minutes into the thing, and it turns out by the end of the game he's a bad guy.
Oh, what a swerve.
That's the thing, there's no swerve, and your character never does, like, the idea is you're meant to be like trying to overthrow the bad guy from the inside if you play Conquest. And if you play Birthright, you're trying to overthrow the bad guy from the outside. But you never stand up for yourself or like your convictions, so there's just like really shitty things happening and your guy's like, well, that's bad, and then that's it. Like, it's fucking so there's no like drama to it. It's really bad considering how great Awakening was back in 2013. It is disappointing. But again, they're all up on the site, those reviews, or they soon will be. And yeah, that's really been me, I think. Oh, new episode of The Old Republic came out. Do you remember when I was talking to you about Battlefront a few months back? And I said how, like, the episodes had gone really badly in the expansion.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they had started off really well. The first 9 episodes were, like, high drama. Almost, as if you were watching, like, a TV series. Like, every episode is different, but it builds up. And then when they started releasing monthly, like, it started to get... You could notice that you were reusing a lot of environments, and the story wasn't really progressing. It was just going sideways. But these last 2 episodes, they've really been like all new environments, exciting stories, like a lot of cutscenes again. It's gotten right back on track. And the new episode's coming out at the end of this month, which is weird because there'll be 2 episodes this month, but, I'm super excited. They've been teasing basically new expansion content. They haven't said anything about it beyond the fact that they've got voice actors in again. So maybe we'll see that at E3.
I was going to ask, do you think you'll see anything at E3 about it? Because we did last year.
Yeah, but it's a weird timing because last year they were launching this expansion. This year they've almost finished it. So, like, maybe they'll tease the new stuff, is what I would imagine. I'm sure it'll be there in some capacity at the EA Play event.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's me. And if that's you, then...
yeah, that's me. I've done nothing, really. I've been basically just sitting around, not doing much.
You've been doing nothing, you've been finishing your degree.
Yeah, but on top of that, I've not really been doing much. Shit's happens, so...
It's really good that we finished that degree. Really
it is,
nice.
yeah. To celebrate, because, I'm so cool, I went into town and I got a a cookie dough frappuccino and a Subway, and that's how I celebrated.
Are you on to coffee now? Is that what's happening?
I've been on coffee for a while.
I know, but like when we were last talking about you and coffee, you were having trouble like finding what you liked.
Yeah, I just drink cappuccinos now. That's basically it. Cappuccino with a nice bit of chocolate in it.
Oh yeah,
it's good. I've learned that McDonald's do the best cappuccino from the takeaway places.
I don't believe you at all.
They're pretty nice. Like Starbucks finally has come to the Isle of Man, and it sucks. It really does. It's not good.
I haven't been in there, but maybe I will over the summer. I've been drinking coffee through a straw because I had dental work done these last couple of weeks, and it's still got a massive hole in the side of my face. So that's been fun.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
So, I haven't tasted coffee properly on my tongue in like 2 weeks. I feel deprived. I am depraved. So before we, I was going to say chalk off, but I guess you don't chalk off anything.
I've been watching wrestling too, still, because I hate my life, and apparently I still watch wrestling.
How's that going for you?
Well,
oh shit, brand split? Is that what I was reading about?
Yeah. So I don't know, like what happened at WrestleMania is like total non-canon because Shane McMahon lost, but then he still became in charge of Raw, and now I think it was at Payback. The payoff to why Shane is in charge is Vince McMahon said, "You two figure it out," and so now Shane and Steph are in charge, and they're like every week teasing like, oh, they're working together, but really, the underlying issues of like, oh, can they still work together? There's tension between them. It's like weirdly sexual, but it is Vince McMahon, writing this stuff.
And they're
obviously.
Siblings, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're siblings. I mean, everyone knows the story of Vince McMahon, how he wanted to have a storyline where he impregnated Stephanie McMahon many years ago. Yes, that's what he wanted, and she said no, obviously.
Jesus.
But yeah, now SmackDown's going live on Tuesday nights, and they're bringing back the brand split. I can't talk, apparently. And
so what do you think about that?
I mean, it depends on what they do. They'll probably put tons of effort into SmackDown for like maybe a month or two, and then that'll be it. And it'll just go back to being shit, I guess.
But does the idea of like these two compete... like, to me, the idea of like a rivalry between two sects of WWE sounds like really appealing.
It never works. They did it many years ago, and Raw was like the big main one. Like, apparently Roman Reigns is going to be the head of Raw, and John Cena is going to be the head of SmackDown. And like, from what I've heard and what I hope they do is I hope that they focus more on like, the sports entertainment side on Raw and keep it similar, and have all, the good guys, bad guys, blah, blah, blah. And then I hope on SmackDown they make it more like NXT-ish. Like, I hope they bring like the really good wrestlers to SmackDown, and they bring up people from NXT, and they have it focused around, being about wrestling and stuff, not necessarily like cheesy storylines about like fucking Dolph Ziggler and Rusev fighting over Lana for marriage or some shit.
So what's the women doing? Where are they? Because there's surely not enough of them to split them.
I don't know. Charlotte's still the champion, and it's boring. She has the women's title. I
never thought I'd hear you say... Oh, no, I knew I would hear you say that one day, but like, to me, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, like, they were the hottest shit when I was watching. Yeah. So for you to be like, Charlotte's the champion of the WWE Women's, and it's boring, is like,
it
really
is
depressing.
Though, for months that they've just been like, oh yeah, Ric Flair's daughter, Charlotte. And now she's finally got rid of Ric Flair, saying that like she wished he died or some shit. I wasn't really paying attention. Like they killed all the interest in the women. Becky Lynch is now losing to fucking Dana Brooke, who has moved up to the main roster.
Okay, she's the ripped model, isn't she?
Yes, she's the one that looks like she will like pin you against a wall.
Where
and have
is
her way.
Alexa Bliss?
I remember watching NXT, but apparently fucking Blake and Murphy broke up. I know, hold back your sadness.
I'm okay.
And she's managing one of them. I don't know.
That was the saddest thing. That's when I knew I was sick of it. The wrestling was when they fucked up Alexa Bliss and put it with those assholes.
Yeah. Becky Lynch is losing. Sasha Banks apparently got concussed by a referee at some house show, so she's been gone for a month. But even then, since WrestleMania, she's been doing nothing. They basically just they gave up on the women again.
That's depressing. That's depressing because they were fucking great. Like.
But now the good thing is, like, I think it's like 2 weeks now at Money in the Bank. The ladder match for the Money in the Bank contract, there's like a good 4 people in there that totally could win, and it would be great. It's Alberto Del Rio, who I don't really care about.
How is he back? I thought he was in Lucha Underground.
No, he came back to WWE, and he won the US title from John Cena in December. And he was part of Mex America, and that very quickly dropped, and he joined the League of Nations to lose to Roman for several months.
Great.
And then the League of Nations broke up, and they kicked out Wade Barrett, who's now been released from the WWE.
Yeah, I heard that. He's not the only one, isn't he? Cody Rhodes?
Cody Rhodes left. He asked for his release. Damien Sandow's gone. Fucking Alex Riley's gone.
Why would they lose? Why? Okay, I get, if you ask for your release, I understand that. But why would you want people to go when you're going to do a brand split? Surely you don't want that.
They release
Surely
people
you
every
want more
year.
wrestlers.
They're going to bring up people from NXT, and like they release people like fucking Cameron. Like, what are they going to do with Cameron? Hornswoggle, and El Torito. Exactly.
Oh god. What about Cain and Abel or Gannon and Dorf? Sorry.
Oh, Connor and Victor. Connor got
sure.
Connor got busted because he took like drugs, and so he has a 60-day suspension.
In real life, not in kayfabe.
In real life. Adam Rose had the same thing, and then he got like domestic abuse charges, and then he was released by WWE not long ago.
Well, yes, I can believe Axl Rose would be onto drugs and domestic abuse.
That's Rose, right. But Victor's on his own now, and he has cool face paint. I love the Ascension, man. Every time, like the rare times that I see them, I start like cheering. I'm like, yeah, and then they lose, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's the Ascension. Yeah, what was I?
Wrestling?
Oh yeah, the Money in the Bank thing. There's like Alberto Del Rio, who I don't really want to win. There's Dean Ambrose, who could win. Chris Jericho.
Money in the Bank's for a shot at the heavyweight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alberto Del Rio's never going to win that, surely.
I think he's won it once before. Fucking Sheamus won last year, dude. Come on, anyone can win.
Yeah, but Sheamus is like so white it makes sense.
Yes. Who is there? There's Alberto Del Rio, Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Cesaro. And like anyone other than Alberto Del Rio winning is like awesome.
Yeah, sure. Is Chris Jericho good to watch?
Yeah, man, he's been great. Like he's just amazing. I didn't watch Raw last Monday because we had an exam the next day, and I wasn't going to stay up till 1 a.m. But like Raw apparently opened with all 6 men sat on top of ladders in the middle of the ring for no explanation, and they just like had banter for like 20 minutes, and it was like it just felt like it wasn't scripted at all, and it was actually hilarious.
Weird,
but
good.
Wrestling's somewhat good now, but I know you're never going to come back to it. Well,
we'll see. I really want to watch some Nakamura. Is he in NXT or is he?
Yeah, you should watch the Nakamura Zayn match from Takeover Dallas. He's got a match tonight, actually. We're recording this on Wednesday. The NXT Takeover, The End, is tonight.
The End. They really need to get better names.
They do,
They need to go like Japanese names where it's like End Evolve Plus Star Blitz or something, like that's what I want.
Well, I mean, apparently they are going to do a takeover in Tokyo or in Japan, so maybe.
Yeah. Well, if that's all, do you want to wrap this up?
Yeah, sure. I'm not going to rant about wrestling for hours.
Well, if wrestling really gets good, maybe I'll start watching again. And then, I know you want to do some website stuff with wrestling in the future, this week.
Yeah, I'm going to write up about Takeover tonight. That should be up by the time this podcast goes up, hopefully.
Yeah. See, content happening. We're back, baby.
We're back, and we're better than ever.
And we are, and it's going to be better than ever next week, because we've got E3, the video game Electronic Entertainment Expo. That took me a moment. We'll see if we do the same thing next year when E3 is like totally irrelevant, but we'll see. So we're going to have pre-E3 podcasts. We're going to be pre-3 casts. We're going to cover E3 press conferences. We'll try to have some news posts up about the different games, as they happen. Yeah, that's going to be happening all this weekend and all next week. So check in for that.
Yep, we got a busy week. Lots of content coming.
And that's GameDropZone.com. Tell us how much you like our new thumbnails too.
Oh yes, really Kyle put lots of work into them. Please go ahead and comment and say how good they look to.
Yeah, comment and like the thumbnails. Don't watch the videos, no. Just comment and like the thumbnails. Also, we should probably do some housekeeping. It's at the GameDropZone on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, yeah.
www.gamedropzone.com. At Matthew... What's your Twitter tag now? You've changed it.
Oh God, it's been so long since I've logged into my Twitter. I think it's at Matthew Kershaw _. I can
look for the pony image. You'll find him.
I should change that, really.
Well, don't change it, for like a week after this podcast. And then it's at Carl Shimon. You'll find my name somewhere if you can't spell it.
Look for the yellow submarine.
Check that out. And we'll see you soon. See you next week, E3.
Ciao.
Exciting. And we'll have regular podcasts, I promise, upon the blood of my family.
Your family's going to die.
Again. All of them dead. They're all downstairs, hanging like Rapunzel from the lampshades.